Greetings everyone, this is Elizabeth and today we are on October 16th during our fall Halloween card making series, and what that means is we have elements to make either fall or Halloween, and all we have to do is change them just so slightly and we can make them the other season. So as you can see, I have fall papers. You can follow this kind of pattern or guide, I guess we could call it a guide. And if you pick up your pack of Halloween papers, you can do the same thing. I just realized I have so much fall paper that I would go ahead and make some more fall cards. This one should be pretty easy. I'm just going to go over some of how I choose my papers. Okay, paper packs are pretty cool because the designer has picked colors and patterns that interact with each other pattern that is in the pack. So this beautiful red on red with the apples is going to go great with anything that is in this book. And you typically get 2 sheets of each depending on how they do that. And look, doesn't that just look yummy together? Okay, even with this purpley blue color, those look great together. So your job is just to pick 3 patterns that look good together. Okay, you'll want a pattern that is bold, okay, that really stands out. For me, it was this one. You'll want one that is simmered down a bit. Haha, look it, the apple is back. And simmered down means that if I had a big white pen or a big marker or something, I could write and you could actually see what's written perfectly. So if I wrote hello across this with a nice bold marker, you would see that. So if I put a die cut on the top of this, it would stand out. Now, if I wrote hello on here, it would get lost. You wouldn't see it very well. So this is our big bold pattern. This is our tapered down pattern. And then we want something in between. I know, right? How is this possible? They look pretty good together, I think. And it's something that we wouldn't normally do, right? You would be like, oh, I need a pattern and some solid colors. Nope, not true. We're going to use this as our solid color because it is toned back so much. This one and this one are going to be our fun pattern papers just to make things interesting. Now, we could put this one down and then put a layer of this over it with this on top. However, these two together they're too close. So this would be like having the white trim around your dark paper. Because see, once we start covering those up and we just have a little bit of trim, see how that it tones it way back, and then it really pops off of this. So you go and you find your focal. This is going to be our focal, something that sits on top that everything's going to work with. And then you just find 2 backings for it. Okay, so that's what we have here. And I've chosen these 3 because when I was going through the paper pack, they a lot of times put in cutouts for you. And the cutouts, cut apart. And what a cut apart is exactly what it says. Cut them apart. And then you get these fun little things that you can just put right to the front of your card and your card is done. But I kind of liked this one, but I wanted to change it up because I don't want it to say Cozy Autumn Days. I may want it to say Happy Thanksgiving or Happy Halloween. If you like this design and you want it Halloween, Christmas, all sorts of stuff. So what we're going to do is our orange is going to be this. Our circle is going to be this. And then if I were to put this on a card, that would be our card base. Okay, so we've got our card base, the background, and then our circle. So that's how I'm going to use these. Okay, so let's get started. Of course, 12 by 12 paper packs, they're 12 by 12. They're not exactly small enough. Let me get my big choppity chop out. Chop, chop. Ugh. Get our more precision chopper. Set you aside. Okay. So the particular paper pack we're using today does have a about a 1/2 inch rippable border on it. Okay, you could pull these out and actually use them as decorations because they do match. So you can snip them off and save them, and you would still have a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, which is super, super nice. I am making sure my apples are turned the right way because the apples actually do have an upside. So we're going to want to be careful with that. And I'm going to go to 5 1/4. Okay, and why is that crooked? Nope, just an optical illusion. The shadow made it look like it was... No, it is slightly crooked. Just slightly, though. We'll straighten it out. Okay, let's trim it from the other end and see if that's any better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're going to go to our 5 1/2. Okay. We'll have a nice chunk for later. And then I did it wrong. Of course I did it wrong. Okay, so I should have went to 4 1/4. That's all right. We'll get it. We'll get it. So we're going to 4 1/4. Okay, because we want the length to be 4 1/4, unless we could do the card this way, in which case that cut would be fine. But I was thinking of opening it this way. Yeah, I do want it that way. So don't panic if you miscut. You can always change it up, okay? But I am gonna do the 4 1/4, and it'll just give me a nice little strip that we can use for something else. 4 1/4. Now we're gonna twist and do 5 1/2, and then we're gonna do 5 1/2 again. Okay. There we go. Because technically, if you take your 12 by 12 and cut it into 6 by 6, you would only get one panel out of it anyways. But on this, we do have 2 lovely strips that we can use. And you know what? We're going to use this. We're going to trim that center row of apples down. Maybe. Can we get that in there? Yay. Just barely. Just barely. Gonna get it as straight as possible. Okay. I'm gonna cut off these cut apples. Just like so. I'm lining the paper up on the grid squares. There we go. So you can see I'm making a strip of apples, and I'm gonna pop that on the inside of my card. So I just need to get this in here. And again, I'm just using the grid dots to get this as straight as possible. And if it's off a little, nobody's really going to notice. Ooh, come out. Couldn't get it out. So now I've got a strip of apples that I can actually trim down and put inside my card. So we're gonna do 4 1/4 because that is the height of my card. 4 1/4. And then we'll do another 4 1/4. Just because we could put it in another card. Oh, no, not 4 1/4. That's okay. Oh my goodness, 5 1/2. That is the height of our card. See? Boo-boos, boo-boos everywhere. But I'm not panicking because like I said, okay, maybe I'm destined to make a card this format. So, see, it just works. Nice, good strip. This one here would be cute on the inside. Ooh, that one would be very nice inside. I like that. Okay. But I have this one for the inside we're doing today, so I could probably make, well, not probably, I could definitely make a lot of cards with the stuff that I have today. And so this little piece will be on the inside. And then we'll have very little wasted paper. Isn't that lovely? I love it when we don't have to throw nothing away. So we're just going to set these aside with the other scrap. I'm going to go ahead and glue this center inside piece down so I don't lose it, because that would be me. I would set it aside and it would be gone forever. Be like, where'd it go? And then we're just going to leave a little bit of white space on the one side. Just like so. Ta-da! And then we'll just trim that off because it's off just a little wee bit. Do that. Okay. So we have the one card panel, which we're going to trim down. I should have started cutting with this one. We could have cut even less off of that one. But that's okay. I think the way we do that, I just had my chopper. Ha, you guys. I think I need to go back to bed. It's just not working out right. Now this pattern does not matter up and down, left and right. So that's going to be nice. But I think I am going to cut it where they say the top is. And it's a 4 1/4 wide. 4 1/4 wide. There we go. And then by 5 1/2. Okay, so here's our base. We're just going to glue that down. Oops. Fling it everywhere. Okay, and this one's going to cover our whole card front. No white borders today. Look at that. Nice, snug little fit. Okay. Cap our glue. Look at it's starting to look beautiful. Now we're gonna do, this is gonna be our orangey part, and then this is gonna be our circle part. So we can decide how much of this we actually want showing through. And there's lots of options. We could just do a strip that our circle sits on. We could do a whole rectangle for our circle to sit on. And I'm liking how it's showing here. So I think what I'm gonna do is, this is 4 1/4. So if we take off a 1/2 inch on each side. So let's do that. Now, I'm not very good at measurements and math in my head. Okay. The card base is 4 1/4 wide. Okay. So if I put it at 4 1/4, and then I take a 1/2 inch off for one side, and then a 1/2 inch off for the other side, that is taking me to 3 1/4, it looks like. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut that right down there. Oh, look at that. We get this nice 1/2 inch border. Oh yeah. And so then we just need to cut it at 5 1/4. So you don't have to be good at math to do your measurements. You can set your paper exactly where you need it and then take it off, scooch down the line until you get the amount that you need. Oh, look at that. I'm loving that. Let's glue that down. We are done with our big paper trimmer. Okay. Now, if you want to mass produce cards and you want them all the same, okay, if you've ever done a sheet load where somebody's given you the measurements, all they've done is they've made the card once, but they didn't put it together. So instead of gluing all of this down, I would just stack it the way I want it. Let's put our... Oh, we're going to put our mushroom upwards. So we're going to do it like this. Okay, so you would just set your pile of paper here. You would get it positioned. And then you would go, okay, I need one piece, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. One piece, 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. And you would write your measurements down on a piece of paper. And then you would go through and cut all of your pieces. Okay, you would get all your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, all your 3 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then your circles. Okay, and what we're gonna do for our circles is I have circles. So we're gonna decide what circle we want to use. I don't know the brand of my circle dies. They're pretty much all the same. Some of them you get more, and so you get more of the nested, so you get more variety on your circle. Ooh, look at that one, just sits right on there. Ooh. And then you would measure your circle, okay, and say, okay, I need this diameter circle, or if you've got them numbered, like ring 7 from the outside, something like that. And then you'd have your directions to make this card multiple times. And with the measurements, you can grab any kind of paper, Christmas paper, Easter paper, Halloween paper. Thus, our fall/Halloween. This is all we need, my friends. Okay, so we're going to take our circle die. Now, because I did kind of mess up and I cut this full, right? Instead of just cutting it out wherever, I'm actually going to center this right on the paper where I would want it if I were to actually make another card with this piece. So then I'm not wasting this piece. And what I'm going to do is, when I cut out my circles and windows, I like to have a little bit more room at the bottom than I do at the top. I want to keep the top and the sides about the same. So I'm just going to eyeball it. Nobody says I need to measure it, but if you want to measure it, you just grab out your ruler and mark it up for yourself. Okay. That actually looks pretty good. So I'm just going to take my little washi tape and tape it down just so it goes through my machine. And we're gonna grab the Cuddle Bug. And we're gonna grab maybe I buried my Cuddle Bug plates. Okay, so for my Cuddle Bug, I don't know if you guys have one or not, but it's been well used. I have the magnet shim, I have the magic mat, and then I have a B plate. And usually that's a pretty good sandwich. We shall find out. Look at that. Poppity pop. So now I've got this lovely piece, okay? And I could put another piece of paper behind it. Look at that. If I cut this circle out of another pattern, I could pop it right in there. And then I've got a second card already. I'm just going to set that over there. And we're going to... Oh, look it. That's dang. It's so close to perfect. And just like cutting it out, okay, you can decide. Do you want it up higher, lower, in the middle? Okay. And I think we're going to go in the middle today. We're going to make sure my apples are facing upwards. And I'm liking that. But I think I want to ink up the edges just a hint. Just to darken it up a little. Let me grab... I don't know. My blender. Don't know why I was looking in my brushes. Okay, and I'm just gonna swoop that color in right around the edges. And this one's kind of tone on tone, so it's not a big change, but it's just enough. You see that? Versus our normal color. See, it just adds a little bit of something. I don't know what it is about ink blending on your edges, but man, it's lovely. Okay. Now all we need to do is find a sentiment. That's one thing I forgot to look for, because I'm not a sentiment person. But let me peruse my stuff and see what I have. I'll be right back. After an extensive search, a big spill, I am back. These Dollar Tree containers are super cute, but the lids don't stay on. So if you have these and you put some powder in them, be wary. Don't pick them up by the lids. So I found a hello stamp that is from my Avery L. Loads of hello. And I picked the hello. And I thought we would emboss that right on our apple. That one is too small. Let's try the next one. There we go. Okay. So we're going to grab our Versamark. And then we're going to grab our dusting powder. Okay, baby powder, flour, anything to make this not so sticky. And then we have our Versamark. And I thought I would try out my new Versamark pen, and underneath hello, I'm going to write fall. So it will say hello fall. And F-A-L-L is just a bunch of straight lines. So hopefully I don't mess it up. And then we're just going to punch down hello. Give it nice, good, firm pressure. And a peel. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, now here we go. We're going to say hello. Oh, please don't mess this up. Straight line across, straight line down, straight line across, and then an angle and an angled, and then a crossbar, straight line down, straight line across. That one's going to run into that one just a little bit. Straight line down, straight line across. I'm going to go over this just one more time, just to make sure I've got enough stuff in there. I hope. Okay. Got the pen work done. Let's get the powder on, and I'm using the Wow Opaque Bright White. A fabulous subby gifted me some of her stash so I could try it out, and I'm impressed. It is way better than the old stuff that I have. You guys, it worked. Although I don't think I dusted my paper enough. You can see where it's that's okay, because you know what they have to fix that, right? Paintbrush. And just grab a little paintbrush and dust off the extras, just like so. Because sometimes this happens. It's not a big deal. Just take your time. The bristles kind of attract the dust too, so there we go. Looks good. Sorry about that. Somebody decided they need to vroom vroom their motorcycle. So inconsiderate, let me tell ya. Set that out of the side. We're gonna heat this up and I shall return. Oh, I got powder everywhere. Let me tell you, today might have been a day to stay in bed. You guys ever have those days where you're like, you feel clumsy and you're just not sure what's going on? Just know you're not alone. How adorable is that? Oh, I'm so proud. And my fall doesn't look too terrible. So thank heavens for that. And then we can just plop this on there. And I'm thinking I do want it up a little. And then we can see that lovely pumpkin down below. Now, I would normally pop dot this, but I am still waiting on my bigger foam. I don't like to use my little foam. You know, the right foam for the project. I've got some new 1-inch foam coming in, so it'll make jobs like this super quick. We'll probably only need 1 and a partial strips. And there we have it. A lovely, cute little hello. That's a little bit off-centered, but that's okay. Don't charge extra for the crookedness. Let me know what you think, and if it inspires you to make something crafty today, be sure to hashtag chat with Sassy on Instagram and Facebook, and I will check those out. Or you can share it directly in our Facebook group, Chat with Sassy's Crafty Friends. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye, everyone.